Mr. Strong Mug, eh? Sums me up pretty much. Sums me up. Hello everybody, it is me, Ben, and today we are doing a video answering the question, can Larry Wheels be the world's strongest man? Now, Mr. Strong, Larry Wheels himself, can he be world's strongest man? Now this isn't the first time I've answered this question, because it may have been massively out of focus, and it may be massively out of focus. We won't know until we have a look at it. Life is so fun sometimes. I do love it. So Larry is coming up in the world of strongman. He's a new guy. Everyone's getting scared because he's incredibly strong, and we know this. But can he actually win the world's strongest man title? Especially now there are so many guys that are training super hard and just doing very well at the competitions. They're competitive. It's getting harder to win the world's strongest man title. Obviously, Larry isn't the biggest guy in the world. He's only about 6'1". He's pretty small in comparison to some of these giants that are competing. So can he actually win? Now I've said this about 100 times. I can't predict the future, which is sad. But looking at the competition, the world's strongest man competition is not based on how strong you are in one lift. It's based on a number of different strengths, and ultimately it's not completely static. So you have to be strong and fast in a lot of the events. Now Larry, being a lighter guy, who will probably, even bulking up, will only get to about 150 kilos, 140 kilos, around that mark, which is a lot less than the likes of Brian Shaw and Thor, who weigh 200 kilos plus. So for those moving events, he will have a bit of an advantage over those guys, which is very good. Let's put it that way. It's very good. Larry Wheels is also a powerlifter, so he's good in the big three: the squat, bench, and the deadlift. Now, the bench, he has benched 675 pounds, which is something that not many people have done ever in history. So you can't argue. His pressing strength is insane, which is shown on the log lift in the recent World Log Lift Championships, where he did over 200 kilos with only like 3 or 4 months training. So for pressing, he's up there in the world, and I do not have a doubt in my mind that in a couple of years' time he'll be winning every pressing event going, pretty much. So look out for him in the pressing events, because he will dominate those. Yeah, for deadlift, he's also very competent. Almost deadlifting, very, very close to deadlifting. 425 kilos, strongman style deadlift, which is more than the likes of Mateusz Kiliaskowski, who struggles with his deadlift. So he has that strong deadlift, which is quite a key component in strongman, especially when you look at the World's Strongest Man final, which will either have deadlift for max reps or squat for max reps or something like that. And Larry is a reps man himself, so you can't argue with that. He'll probably do well in those events that are based around the big three and are for reps. Just make sure this is picking up everything I'm saying, because it is gold and we do not want to miss anything I'm saying. Yeah, I'd just like to point out I'm wearing a very summery t-shirt to represent the summer. It's got snowflakes on and snowmen. Yeah, a seasonal fashion, I'm alright. I've got to keep up with the fashion. It's very fashionable to wear winter clothes in the summer. If that's not a trend, I'm starting it now. Get your winter clothes in. You'll look like you have no idea what you're doing, but secretly, we all know what we're doing. Anyway, back to Larry. Yeah, so he will be very, 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 what am I even saying? He'll be good at the moving events and then also the reps events. If we look at Larry as an athlete and we look at his weaknesses, he doesn't have many. Even in the early stages of training, he's a very complete strongman. He has a good grip, he's strong on the big 3 lifts, he's light, so has the speed, and the only thing that he might be a little bit weaker on are the Atlas stones. But even then, he's done over 200 kilos stone, and for World's Strongest Man, you don't need to go massively over 200 kilos on the Atlas stones, so he'll only need to do a bit more training for the stones to be right where they need to be. Yeah, so he'll be quite a complete athlete, which will put him in good contention for the World's Strongest Man, because that is a test of all components of strength. So it may be a bit controversial, but I do think that in the future Larry could win the World's Strongest Man. He only wants to podium, get that top 3, but I actually think he can win it. Give him 3 years or more. I'm not saying he's going to win it next year or maybe the year after that, but 3 years, Larry will be right up there contending for the World's Strongest Man title. Mark my words. Now that's just my opinion, and you might say, oh, well, Larry's actually really weak. You might be right. It's just my opinion. You can comment and tell me why I'm wrong. I'll be happy to have a look at it. But yeah, please like and subscribe and get ready for the Strongman, because it's all kicking off. Very competitive and exciting stuff. Strongman is the place to be. If you're not with it, get with it. See you later. Till the next one.